Alright. I already give my point of view of what I thought was going on before, and that's all fine and dandy, but this one's going to be a total different situation. Although it may end the same way because I am really not liking Al Sharpton. I've never liked Al Sharpton. I think Al Sharpton is like the guy that's going to destroy America right from the top. He's doing his best that he can to get it there, and he shouldn't be allowed to walk the streets. But that's enough for about this man. Here's my question. Right now, in the United States, in the state of Washington, the city of Seattle, we have in front of us a whole new country. They said, you now left the United States. So, welcome to Chaz. Chaz stands for the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone. And if you don't know about Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, they have their own police force, or so they claim. These are armed citizens that are standing at the gates. You have to have an ID to show you belong in that area or you can't get in. It's as simple as that. Do you really need to have your own police force? For what? I mean, I'm not against cops by any means. I am not against cops. I stand with cops. I've stood with them in DC. I'll stand with them anywhere they're going to be. Because our police officers are trained to be able to do what needs to be done. They aren't trained to deal with, well, I can't say that. They are trained to deal with rioters and looters and all that. They are trained for it, but they don't want to do it because they don't think they should have to. It's just common sense. If you follow the law, life goes on, and you did what you needed to do to get to where you're going to be. It's just as easy as that. It's not about life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness because, yeah, sometimes we all mess up. We get pulled over. Hell, we may have been speeding. We may not have been speeding. We may have committed a crime. We may not have committed a crime. We may have been signaled out, and this has happened to me a couple times where a vehicle that matches the vehicle that I drive turned out to be a vehicle that matched the description of something that happened in some other town that I was never even in. It just freaking happens. But you gotta take into consideration that it's always going to be a possibility. It's always going to be a possibility. If you're walking down the street, it's always going to be a possibility. If you're driving a vehicle, it's always going to be a possibility. It doesn't matter what the situation is or what you're doing or anything else. It's always going to be a possibility. You may have been involved in the committing of a crime. It's just easy as that. Were you? Well, if you weren't, you're pretty much innocent like I've always been. But I may get pulled over a few times to make sure that might not be the case. All right, now let's go back to the city of Chaz, I guess is what they call it. It's just not even a city. It's now the country of Chaz. The country of Chaz, Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, they don't want cops. They are going to do it all on their own. I got news for them. Our police officers go through pretty much the same training I went through in the military where you get, like, worked out hard. Do them guys get worked out? No, they don't. They don't get worked out at all. But that's okay. It's Chaz. We'll just deal with it. Alright, so we also learn a lot of rules in life. As a trained sniper, one of the first rules I learned was you don't shoot to kill, you shoot to disable. If somebody is shooting at your troops, you disable that person from being able to shoot at your troops. You don't shoot to kill, you shoot to disable. This is out of the military. I'm sorry, a lot of people disagree with this, but that's the way we were trained. You never shoot to kill. If you shoot to kill, it's because that person had a bomb with a designator in his thumb that said, I'm going to blow up the whole city block. Now you disabled a whole lot of people. If you're on a hill and you got a gun and you're only taking out one person at a time, my job is to make sure you don't take out another person. It's not to kill you, it's to make sure you don't take out the next person. We will have the police officers come in and take you out afterwards, and then life goes on. It's not about killing people. People have such a misconception about what a sniper is about, and I am sorry, but that is not what I was trained to do, and that is not how it was ever made to be. A sniper's job is only to disable the person who is going to take a shot and disable another person. Or a gunner who's going to run after somebody and keep shooting at them. You take their legs out if they're running, you take their arm out if they're shooting, you shoot them in the shoulder, you shoot them in some, you shoot them in whatever you need to shoot them in, but you never shoot to kill. I have been told by so many people I'm wrong, and I'm telling you, that is not the way I was frickin' trained. And I was trained as a frickin' sniper. The job was never to kill. If it was imminent and it was going to impact a whole lot of people, oh yeah, take a headshot. One bullet, one done. By all means. If you can't do it in the head, you do it in center mass. One shot, done. But that's not the way we were trained. And there was a reason why we were trained that way. Because we need that person. If you kill that person, you'll never know who his leader is. Okay? So let's say Khomeini. Khomeini may have been the guy that put the fucking sniper on the hill. If we kill that guy, we'll never know Khomeini was the guy that put him there. That's why we weren't put there to do a kill shot. That's why we were put there to do a stop shot. You stop them from doing what they're doing. You don't stop them from doing everything. It's as easy as that. So we go back to Chaz. Chaz is like a bad idea. Culminating into, now it's a whole city. Well, they got 8 blocks now, I guess what I heard. It might be 6, but I think I heard they moved it up to 8 blocks now. And then they're going to take that 8 blocks and they're going to say, this is an autonomous zone. No cops are allowed. We'll take care of the policing ourselves. Yeah, okay, that's all fine and dandy, but the problem is, the people that are taking care of the policing don't have a freaking clue about what the actual police did in that whole area. They don't care. Did this person commit a crime before and now you gotta go back and check him out? They don't care. They don't have a fucking clue. They don't care. Well, what happens on that? It's already an anarchist area, so let's just say that it would be really fun if we never paid attention to this area again and we just say close it off and they can do whatever they want. No, that's not the way it works. You can't take a civilian and put him into a police department's position and have him understand what the police have to go through on a daily basis. Above all things, the police go through a lot of crap. But you can't take a civilian and put him into that situation and say, okay, you're going to deal with all this bullshit and just deal with it. Because it ain't going to be just dealt with. There's going to be consequences. I understand the thin blue line. And I support the thin blue line. I will be behind any officer anytime that any officer needs help. I don't care if they're on the side of the road or if they're just calling in for help or whatever. If I'm in the area, I'm going to go help. Because you know why? Because I was trained and I was taught as a kid, you always respect that thin blue line. These guys have no respect for that thin blue line. They totally abolished the whole law enforcement issues and they will deal with it on their own. I've watched people with baseball bats attacking people for stealing food in the autonomous zone. They have no food. They're out. They're asking for help. They want people to bring them food because they have no food. Why do they have no food? Well, they let in the homeless population. Well, Jesus, that's awesome, isn't it? They let people into the autonomous zone from the homeless population, but they won't let the person that owns a house right down the corner on the same street they're standing on get access to their own freaking house because their ID says they live in Florida or they live in Georgia or they live somewhere else. They don't live there. That is so wrong. The Seattle people that leave Seattle in the wintertime to be fucking Florida people or a southern state, it doesn't have to be Florida, a southern state, they're there for a reason. It's warmer. And then when the warm temperatures come back to Seattle, Washington, or whatever, it doesn't have to be Seattle, it could be New York, it could be anywhere, they come back. And they come back and they want to be able to access their house. Their ID doesn't say they even own the house, and now they can't get access to their house. Is that something that you want to support? Because for me, I'm going to say no, it's not. It's not. You've already looted all the stores. You've raised the prices of everything that's in your freaking neighborhood tenfold minimum. And now you're telling people that own houses in there that pay taxes to be there can't get access to their house because, oh, their ID doesn't show that they live here, that they live down in Florida. But yet you let the fucking homeless people in that stole all your food and now you can't feed your people. Think about that. You're so fucking wrong. You need to shut the fuck up, shut the fuck down, close up the fucking town, get rid of your barriers, and let the police come back in and do what the police's job is, because that's what's going to bring your autonomous zone back to being a rightful zone for the people that own property and that live in that zone. You don't live there. None of you that are doing this even live there. You all just came in and took it over. Get the fuck out. I'm tired of the bullshit. Get out.